All right, so I just did a video on using Unison to sell a portion of your equity in order to pay off debt. Now I'm going to do it. What if we don't have debt? We just want to take a portion of our equity to invest it instead. And this is you can do it. Literally, you can do whatever you want with it. But in terms of pure number crunch, and I want to look at the alternative of keeping your equity tied up in your home. Instead, we want to invest it in the market, because inherently you think, well, the market gives me 6 or 7%. My home is only giving me 2.5%. So if I take it out of the home and I invest, I should be better off for that. And I think you'll be relatively surprised what we find. All right, so again, we're going back to the home. The home is at $300,000. We think it's going to appreciate by 2.5% each year with inflation. All right, well, again, that makes sense. You're not swinging for the fences, but you're getting a 2.5% appreciation. Now, use a real number. Don't use 7% on your home. Someone actually said, how about 10%? I said, dude, you're not getting 10. I mean, just don't. But anyway, in fact, there's an article I'm going to read to you. I was reading this morning from a while ago from the Journal for Financial Planning as I talk about real estate as an investment in 6 different or 8 different markets going back to like 1984. It's pretty interesting. I'll share that with you next time. But anyway, so $300,000 grows to 2.5%. That means your home in 10 years is worth $384,000. $384,000. So that means you made $84,000 total. 384 minus 300 is $84,000 total. In this case, because you're selling 10% of your equity to Unison, they get 40% of your growth of your equity, of the growth of the equity accumulation from the time you did the transaction. So we had 384. We started with 300. We have $84,000 of equity growth. They get 40%, which is $33,600. Plus the $30,000 that you initially took out, that's $30,000. Add these two together, that's $63,600. So when you sell the house, you sell it for $384, but you got to pay Unison back $63,600, which means you are left with a net of $320,000. All right, not so bad, $320,000. Now, when you sold a portion of your equity, you sold 10%, and so you got $30,000 cash, which you can do whatever you want with. So in this case, we're going to invest it in the market, and we're going to get 6% a year. I mean, it's not going to be that much different if we got 7% a year, even 8% a year. It'll be a little bit different, but not a huge amount in terms of the numbers I'm going to share with you. So in this case, we invest. We have $30,000 at 6%. After 10 years, is worth $53,725. So we take our $320 that we have left plus $53,725. And that gives us a total balance, asset balance of $375,000, $73,000, which means we only have 2.22% net growth. So we actually sacrificed, what's that, $11,000 in order to sell Unison a portion of our equity. And the reason for that is simply because they're getting 40% of your equity on any amount that it grows to from the day you did the transaction. So you're actually worse off in this scenario. So, one of the things they say on their website is, diversify into equities. And I mean, yeah, but even at 7%, it's not going to be great over the next 10. It's just not. You're still going to do better off having left your real estate in here. Now, there's so many different things to consider. I mean, so many contingencies. In terms of if it's all in your equity, all in your home, equity in your home doesn't put food on the table, at least you have access to this money, and that's correct. What if the market does better than 7%? Because I did 7%, I did 6%, it's only really 8% did it so it's only at 8%. Did you make better than 2.5% that you would have got from just leaving it alone? I mean, so you had to get 8% on the market to get better than the 2.5% than you would have had if you just did nothing, if that makes sense. So I don't see the value here of using Unison just to diversify out of the equity in your home. I just don't see it, especially because if you don't get 7, 8, or 8%, you're literally losing money. I mean, you're losing 2.5% versus 2.2. If you did nothing, you would have had 2.5. If you did something, you would have got 2.2. So now people say, okay, but Josh, what if the markets go down? And the same thing is going to transpire. So $300,000. Make sure you can see that. Yeah. And now let's just say it drops to $200,000. We'll just say, so you're down $100,000. Well, Unison will lose 40% of that too. So in this case, you don't owe Unison anything. because you borrow 30,000 bucks, or again, they don't like the word borrow, but it is what it is. So you borrowed $30,000, so that is just scratched away because Unison took a portion of the up, and if it goes down, they took a loss on that too. So they're just taking a loss. Now, you at least you had that 30,000 bucks, but you're still down in your home from two. So you had the $30,000 they gave you, plus the $200,000 you can sell your home for. So you don't have to, at least that's the way I understand that. But that's what I saw. I just looked at their website and it looks pretty simple. If you lose value on your home relative to their take in your equity, it could wipe out the entirety that you owe them. So anyway, in this case, you lose $40,000, or they lose $40,000 of equity, which wipes out the entire amount that you owe them. So I was going to say, all right. So now you have $200,000 plus the $30,000 they gave you. So if the market goes down, you're better off. You got $230,000 as opposed to just the $200,000. But that's that's a 50% decline in home values. I mean, theoretically that could happen, but not likely. So this is more likely. I mean, real estate grows essentially by the rate of inflation. Unless you get 8% or more, you're better off not doing anything. So the rule for me that I can see, I don't think I'd do this. I don't think I'd do this unless I had debt to pay off. Like the video I just did where you're paying off debt, that made sense. So Unison would be a big help there. Obviously that was 7.99. You'd have to look at your own numbers, but I think I'd do it there. If I had just to invest it, I don't see the value of that at all. Now, if I need the income, it's different. If I need the income, I don't know. I'd have to run the numbers on that if I need the income, because if I need the income from that might make sense, especially if you're going to age in place. You might want to do a Unison plus the reverse mortgage. Those would make sense. But from a pure equity, cash out equity to invest in the market for diversifying, I just don't see the value there. To pay off debt, yep. To do income, yep, absolutely. But just to invest, I don't see it. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Unison. Thanks now.